G'day, hi, and welcome. All right, so here's my lovely lion head violin. I can't speak today. And get close. I'm about a step low now, so I'm getting it up there. The highest I'll probably be able to get is about a half step low in the tuning. And let me rosin the bow here. My poor bow. My poor violin, my poor bow, my poor everything. So I'm in my second year of playing, and just to give you an idea, what I did, a brief history of my violin playing is, number one, I'm a guitar player that plays violin. So most people can figure that out by my playing. About 10, maybe more than that now, over 10 years ago, I picked up this cheap Cornelli violin. It was a 3/4 scale or a half scale violin. It was like 30 or 40 bucks new from Steve's Music box store in Ottawa. And I thought, okay, see if I can get something. I just could not play this thing at all. It was just way too small for me. And then I got a few years later, but I'd say about 10 years ago, I guess. I picked up another violin, another Cornelli violin for about $100, and it was a full scale one. And I just really couldn't get anything out of it. It wouldn't hold tuning. It was a really cheap violin, and so I never really did anything with it. And then about 2 years ago, I started getting the bug again. I'd sold off my mandolin. I sold off a few guitars, that type of thing, and I decided to get back into the violin again. Only this time, I wanted to, get something better. So I ended up, I got the electric violin, my Cremona 180. Then I bought this 100, 200-year-old violin, made in Germany, most likely. Picked up in the Czech Republic, and then I bought it here in Canada. I bought it. So the first year, we'll technically say, was last year of playing. This is into the second year. And in the first year, I just diddled around playing, not learning any tunes or anything. Just kind of like... just playing around, doing my own thing, right? And doing those kind of sporadic outbreak videos that I was doing of it. Some people liked them, some people really didn't like them, and yeah, I listened to some of them. They sounded a little bit foolish and stuff like that, and I had a lot of fun doing them. And it was just like all kind of creative on the spot, just kind of making noise. But this year I want to actually start doing tunes. I want to bring you... I didn't want to start off learning other tunes in the beginning, not because I couldn't do it. It was just that I wanted to see if I could develop a style before I started learning other people's tunes. And then it's like, okay, yeah, you learned on the Suzuki system, didn't you? Like everybody plays the same thing. For me, I was just kind of winging it, just to see what kind of a style would come out. And I think I do have a bit of a style. It's just I'm not refined yet. I'm getting better, I think. Just... So I'm not perfect, but my bowing's getting better. My grip. This bow is kind of it's a strange bow. It's a bit heavy, but it's a good bow. But it obviously is starting to get to the point where it's going to need to be rehaired. It's still straight, but it's not 100% consistent. And it was like that when I bought it. I didn't pick up on it till after I got it home. So probably gonna have to get the bows rehaired. But my goal this year is going to be to give you tunes, probably because I can't read music like I used to, and it's one of those things that it's like it's a guys know how much time consuming these things are. So I'm going to give you variations of tunes. I'm going to start with the really simple stuff. I'll play probably every tune I play. I'm going to play on once on every violin I have. I got 6 of them, right? So a little bit of a news update. The Proc up violin, I'll grab that after, is now the next fixed on it, sort of, kind of. So I just got to get strings for that. So as soon as I get some extra money, I'll see if I can get some strings for it. But yeah, so my goal is going to be to give you variations of simple tunes first, and then work my way up to something really complicated by the end of the year. So I think I'm like fingering wise, like that's not a problem. It's the goal is going to be to work on my intonation for this year, particularly with the bow. The bow is the hard part. Really, I think what makes a good violinist or fiddler, whichever one you want to go with, is the bowing. Like, I mean, everything matters. You know, everything matters. Like, I have no problem with the finger stuff because of the guitar. You know, I can shred no problem. But the thing is the bow, coordinating that bow. That's where the discipline I really got to work on there. No, I'm not going to take lessons. I don't have the money for lessons, and I'll pick it up anyway. Like I'm not, you know, I'm never going to be joining an orchestra or like that. I have no aspirations to do that. It's just something I do because I like music. You know, I've been playing guitar since I was 5, so the violin is just kind of something I do on the side. But I'm hoping that maybe this year, that if again, you know, get a little bit more money coming in, I might rent some kind of unusual instruments, and I think that might be something interesting too. You can rent from Longman McQuaid. You can rent things for like a month. So I want to rent a cello. I want to rent a double bass. They do have one there, and I know it's probably still there. It's been there for a couple of years. It's just kind of one of those things that who buys these things, right? It's like for every guitar you sell, or for every double bass you sell, you probably sell like 5,000 guitars. You know, people just don't gravitate to those things, you know. But they are very cool. But I would like to get all the violin variants, you know, go from the violin, then rent a cello or a viola for a month. See how that, you see what I can pull out of that. And then rent maybe a cello, and then rent a double bass, or in no particular order, but so then you get them all, right? So that said, I will start with my violins because that's what I have, you know, that type of thing, and I will try to put out, I don't know what frequency they're going to come out at, but I'll try to put out a different tune every week if I can. A lot of beginner stuff, just because I want to keep it simple. I've got a couple of tunes already that I've got variations of, that type of thing. So variations meaning that it's not going to be exactly as written in the sheet music. Again, I don't read sheet music, sight read like I used to. I used to be able to do, but it's one of those things when you're out of practice reading sheet music, it's like, oh my God, it's. I had some in front of me the other day. I'm like, I know how to do this. You know, normally you'd go. Let's say you're playing something like this. You know, like. Okay, when you can read sheet music, you'll play it like that. When you're out of practice, you're like. You know, like you're sitting there, what is that? Yeah. So it takes a while to get that coming back, and hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be like, be ahead of the music. It's very hard to get ahead of the sight read and get ahead. I used to know this one girl. She used to always be two or three lines ahead, but also you have to be familiar with the tune. But if you pulled the sheet music away from her, she couldn't play. Like it was all. Like literally, she was like almost in real time. And she said she was always usually okay. There's my 2 lines. I know what's coming. You know, she was always but that's all she did was read sheet music, right? But she said, yeah, you pull the sheet music away. She couldn't just me on the opposite. Like a lot of players that learn by ear, we go by memory, not by reading. So you need to work on both, right? So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. So. Hopefully you guys will enjoy my second year of playing a little more than my first year of playing. Most of my first year playing is on my other channel. We'll see how long that channel stays up, but it's a different type of channel, and I'm going to gravitate that stuff over to here. So just because this is kind of my Renaissance inspiring channel, might inspire you to pick up the fiddle. It might not inspire you to pick up the fiddle. It's a gamble. But anyway, that's what I got going on. So there we go. Yeah, have a great day, eh?